What's up, everyone? I'm afraid I got some bad news for you today. Okay, I know you were probably expecting some, fancy opening statement like I usually do, but I'm gonna have to give you something different. And I know those of you that have been following me for a while know how bullish I have been on Workhorse. So everyone here should understand how hard it is for me to do this. And I really don't want to do this, but just know that I have to. Before I get started, I'd like to ask all of you, my Workhorse brothers and sisters, to join me in standing. Place your hand over your heart, and together we shall say the Workhorse National Anthem. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's go. I pledge allegiance to the Workhorse electric vans, which are made in the United States of America. And because it went public, I can buy shares to add to my long-term portfolio. And every dip is a gift from God and made divisible through fractional shares available for all. Hey, what's going on? It's Pat from Top Ticker Trades. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your wealth through investing and trading stocks in the market, make sure you start right now by subscribing and tapping that bell so you never miss a thing. I'll see you in the video. Let's go. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Now, this is a video that I'm really not looking forward to doing, and I'm pretty sure that you're really not going to look forward to listening to it, because the stuff that I have to tell you about today is just, it broke my heart. That's for sure. And I know it's going to just tear you apart as well. So essentially, we got some bad news today. The USPS announced the awarded winners of their NGDV contract. And as we all know, unfortunately, Workhorse is not on that list. And even worse, they say that Workhorse will never make that list. I know you guys are upset, but just think about how bullish I've been on Workhorse this entire time. So before you have a complete breakdown, just think about how I feel. Workhorse is my baby. Workhorse has been my baby. And I don't think there's anybody on the planet that loves Workhorse more than I do. So it's a terrible situation. This is really terrible. It's bad for me. It's bad for you. It's bad for Workhorse. So Trump came out. He told the USPS that they're not to use any of that funding to pay Workhorse for any of these NGDV vehicles. They're only allowed to pay one of the other companies if they're awarding the contract to one of those. But specifically, he said no to Workhorse. And the reason for that is because he said he's, looking for an all-American company to do this, and the vehicles have to be made in America. And he came out and said, well, first he tweeted, then he said that Workhorse can't be trusted because they teamed up with a foreign company. And he didn't say this, but he implied it. He's implying that Workhorse is going to sell American secrets to a Japanese company, and they're going to use them against us to create better electric vehicles. And he also said they're going to have much better drones because they're going to be Workhorse drones enhanced with Japanese technology, which we have no information about whatsoever. It's, been kept a complete secret. But all we do know, according to Mr. Trump, is that when combined with our technology, it's going to create something very powerful and something that is going to be far more technologically advanced than anything we've seen to date. And then he called them out for selling their IP or intellectual property to Lordstown Motors. I mean, you guys are gonna have to listen to this on your own to really know what I'm saying here. So I will play a clip in about 10 seconds. April Fools! Had you guys, man, you should have seen the looks on your faces, but I told you I had good news, and good news I brought. And the first piece of good news is that, I made all that crap up. So now you guys can relax, go to bed, go to school, go to work, whatever you guys do. And what I'm going to do right now, because I'm sure everyone is angry, but listen, this was well worth it. It was worth the laugh. And now you get to share it with people that you know that will get really annoyed by it, and you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that you ruined their day. Share it on every single social media platform known to man. What I'm going to do right now is go ahead and start our video so we can keep it as short as possible, since I know you guys are already ticked off. But I do need to hit up this topic, so the first thing I'm going to start with is all of the hate videos and all these haters that have their own YouTube channels that are talking crap about Workhorse. Let's talk about them for just 1 minute. So the first point that I'm going to make today stems from all the Workhorse hate videos popping up on YouTube. Maybe I shouldn't refer to them as hate videos, but let the record reflect that the scripts used in those videos most certainly indicate that Negative Nancy is the author. So what does Nancy have to say? Well, first and foremost, Nancy says that Workhorse is nothing without the USPS contract. My point on that is that it's very unlikely to assume that Workhorse will not receive at least some portion of the NGDV contract. The next major issue to address would be Workhorse's production capacity. Now, bears tend to point out that Workhorse cannot produce the amount of delivery vehicles required by that USPS contract should they, get awarded. But my position on that is that Workhorse already had the capacity to produce 60,000 vehicles per year. Now, the contract, if they were to get 100% of it, would call for 140,000 electric vehicles over the next 5 to 7 years. So my math on that shows that Workhorse can complete the entire contract by themselves in just as little as 3 years. But let's say that they do need a lending hand. They're going to go to Lordstown, as the CEO has previously stated in an interview. But now for the kicker, Workhorse has recently entered into a strategic partnership with Hitachi. One big benefit of this newly forged friendship is that our friends in Japan will help Workhorse ramp up production. Okay, now bear case 1 closed. Let's move to the next topic. The next issue, simply put, is money, or it has to deal with money or lack of. So someone said they only have enough money to survive for the next year. Bears are still talking about cash burn and lack of revenue. But to address this, I would like to remind the bears to set a reminder on their phone right now that will remind them that Workhorse is just getting started. Even though they are not a startup by definition, they're a startup in the sense of the Workhorse that we see today being entirely different from the company that it started out as. Nevertheless, what do you think will happen for Workhorse when this USPS contract is awarded? Well, what are they gonna sell all of their money to the lowest bidder? Because that makes a lot of sense. Someone explain it to me, please, because I really don't understand it. And while we're talking about money, let's not forget that our new friends in Japan will also help out with funding. And I think you get the big picture here, but there is more. So when this strategic agreement with Hitachi was initially announced, I think that most investors immediately understood the implications. And it signaled a strong confirmation that the USPS contract, or at least a significant portion of it, was secured by Workhorse. After all, 2 + 2 does equal 4. So I'll be the first to admit that I loved hearing this news and being able to rest assured that the contract was ours. But at the time, I had no idea just how beneficial this agreement would actually be for the future of Workhorse and how many catalysts it would bring. But it's not even time to discuss those catalysts yet, because we got some different types of catalysts, some that are going on right now, that we're finding out about right now, that we need to talk about, which to me completely indicate and signal that we're getting that USPS contract is going to be going to Workhorse No ifs, ands, whats, buts, or buts and ifs and ands or whats about it. Anyhow, they're now hiring 200 plus people over in 2 states, okay? In Indiana and Ohio. Then you got the whole Hitachi thing that just happened. Then you got the Wall Street bets like Oppenheimer or few other analysts that are really getting bullish on Workhorse. I mean, this is crazy. Which very quickly brings me even to another point. Buy the dip. It's down right now. This may be one of your last opportunities to buy unless, the whole market tanks. But buy the dip and hold until something major happens. And that something major would be that NGDV contract. Okay? Now, let me share something with you. Cathie Wood now has over 600,000 shares. Okay? She buys the dip every single time this thing dips. So you know what I'm gonna do? Buy the dip. You know what you should do? Well, that's your choice. But thanks for coming. Thanks for listening. I'm sorry about the trick, but you know what you gotta do. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. You've made it to the end of the video. If you found this video helpful, I ask that you help this channel out by smashing that like button, as it motivates me to keep making videos just like this one every single day. If you're not a subscriber, you should consider subscribing, as I publish valuable content like this daily. You can do so from your screen right now, and if you want to check out more of my videos, you can click on the video that you'd like to see on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.